Hello and welcome back to Fire Emblem Order of the Crimson Arm, 100% growth, slow turn down playthrough. This video will be tackling Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. During Chapter 5, we get access to the preps for the first time. Sven uses both the Secret Book and the Goddess Icon. The Secret Book is necessary because he'll be doing a lot of combat, and we need the Goddess Icon. We get Seer on Camille, a 2 to 3 range Dark Tome that gives good weapon experience, and Alphys on Alchemist, which is a think Regenleaf. I forget exactly what level Camille is at, but the level she's at is a hard benchmark. In order to kill the boss, she needs to be at the level she's currently at. That or she needs to use Seer, but we can preserve Seer uses. We trade Camille to Flux and have Sven pick her up and move further. We are 2-turning this map, but in doing so, we are drastically hurting Sven's experience. We want to get as much experience onto your units such as like Negu and Boleslav as possible. We put Negu there simply so that she can bait the female mercenary that's down there into attacking her. The mercenary is named Kiara. She does basically nothing for us in this playthrough, although she does bring us a Still Sword, which is nice, because it's a weapon that Ernst can use, even though Ernst will stop being fielded soon. This crit is not necessary, but it is funny. Sven needs to dodge one of the attacks that come his way over this turn. We also got a mage named Beatrice, who does basically nothing this whole run. There are a couple villages on this map. One of them is a Draco Shield, which we really would have liked to get. But, and the one on the top right, which I forget what it has, I think it just contains... Well, it's not important. Negu gets another level up. Her stats are somewhat starting to catch up. And we heal Sven from here. In all honesty, I should have just recruited Kara with Artemis first, and then had someone else pick up, Halen. I mean, have Halen heal from above, but this works just as well. We want to talk to Kiara. And then we want to get this kill to Boleslav. Or at least weaken the knight, so that he'll move before the boss does. Enemies that are weakened move before enemies that aren't weakened. Actually, no, we give this kill to Camille, to Kiara, rather. And we burn a two RNs here. The boss is named Horus. He's a soldier that has, soldier that has a short spear. He also has actually pretty decent stats. Camille needs to be whatever level she is. I think she's level 5, in order to double him and in order to one-shot him with a critical hit. We also could have used Seer, as I said, but this is just easier. Those 2 RNs we burned were actually just for her survival, because I was hoping to just have her hit the boss twice. But they also coincidentally lined up the first RN where she gets a crit, not just survives. This chapter 5 cleared in 2 turns. Yeah, she needs to be level 6 to do that. Which is pretty amusing. On to Chapter 6. Chapter 6 is a map where we start having to do some kind of shaky things. We get preps again. There's not really much to talk about in preps. We just selected the units that we wanted to play. The units we deploy on the left don't really matter. We're just using Gerwolf and Negu because they're easier to train over here. We also have Alchemist, Sven, and Camille. Alphys is a very, very good weapon because it grants double weapon experience, so Alchemist now has C-rank lances, which is nice. And it also has 15 crit, making it basically half a killer lance with effectiveness and one less might. We have Sven equip a hand axe and rescue Alchemist. The gate that we need to seize him is in the top. We need to get a steel axe crit with Sven in order to kill the boss. The main reason that we deployed our units over here is just that there's less enemies moving during the enemy phases. They're not particularly important. In 0%, or even in this, you can just make the boss kill easier by having urns to promote. However, we'd rather save the Earth Seal that we have, the Earth Seals we get for other units, even though we do have excess Earth Seals at the end. There's a unit we get in a couple of chapters that we'd much rather give an Earth Seal to anyway, instead of Ernst, if we were to spare an extra one. You're going to see Geralt's utility come in here, where he just hits something hard, which is nice to set up kills for Negu. And Kiara just shows that she's got decent combat stats. We don't use her that much. She starts being benched pretty soon after this map, well, after the next map. But she is helpful when she is used. We're still getting kills into Boleslav, which is why we had Beatrice week in that Ramadan. As much as I don't like Boleslav, he is mandatory to be used. Or we'd have to save energy ring, all 3 energy rings that we get in this game, for a sniper who joins later. We'd also have to burn both body rings. There's a village on screen now. That village contains an axe river, which we do want to get, and we get it on, we get it with Beatrice. We also want to get a, well, we don't want to get it. There's a village on top up at the Speedwing. We do want to get it, but we never end up getting it. The Speedwing would be incredibly nice to have, though. There is an armory, actually, an armory or a vendor around where that archer is standing in the bottom right side of the screen. However, it's invisible. We don't end up visiting it, but it is funny. Ernst gets his first level up, and you can see his base stats are actually quite good. It's just there's no real reason for us to use him. Even if we wanted a Swordmaster on our team, we get a pre-promoted one later. And there is actually a reason to want a Swordmaster on the team, but I'll be saying what that is much, much later, when we actually get to the pre-promoted one. Halen gets in some extra heals here. I wasn't sure if I would need to have her promoted and trained for the late game. The answer is no, I don't. Because if I want a light magic user, I get a pre-promoted one anyway. And I do some kinda risky things here. Ernst killing this mage is not risky, it's risk-free. And I start bringing that archer over with Beatrice. I didn't talk about Beatrice much last map. She's a filler mage. Anything we need a mage for can be done with Camille, who promotes with an item that isn't an Earth Seal, or can be done by a unit we get later, or by Elaine when she promotes. Gerwolf needs to dodge one of the 2 attacks that come his way during enemy phase. Luckily, that's why I had to burn our runs. Luckily, he's in a force, which makes it slightly easier. Sven needs to be healed here by Halen in order to survive up in the boss area. And Negu just gets a little bit more experience for herself. I should have had Gerwolf heal last turn, I just simply forgot to. Gerwolf also needed to hit that enemy, but he also had a over 60% hit, over 90% hit rate, so... The vendor is, I believe, 1 up and 1 left from where Ernst is, if you're curious about it. There's a up by the top left village, there is an armory there, but I don't know what's in it. Boleslav had to move up to get a little bit of experience in himself. And we drop Alchemist there. Sadly, that Armor Knight has a bow, because Armor Knights can use bows, which I never mentioned. You would have seen it back in Chapter 2. And we need to burn some more ends that he dodges 2 bow hits. Camille survives totally fine here. Or, yeah, he needs to dodge both bow hits. We would have loved to give one of those kills to Alchemist, but we couldn't. It is very unfortunate. This is an unnecessary heal. Again, I only went for it because I wasn't sure how much I would need to heal, train Halen. The answer is not at all. We also don't ever need her staff rank to get higher. This is just for experience and bonus love. However, it does get him to C rank bows. Gerwolf and Negu kill this mercenary. Gerwolf was just doing it for extra stats. By this point, I already had decided on training Negu in the long run. But he needs better stats for when he's being deployed, just for a filler 7 move combat unit. And we burn some more ends that Sven can get a 4% crit with Steel Axe to one-shot the boss. He needed to get a strength proc in the middle of the chapter in order to do this. But giving him the level is easy anyway. It's unfortunate that he has to use the Steel Axe because its accuracy is kind of shaky, which is why he took the secret book last chapter. We had our first Earth Seal there. Well, I guess second Earth Seal, but the first for this army. Wyvern Riders showed up last turn. We killed them with Camille, one of them with Camille, and it gives her just enough for a level up. Or we kill a fighter instead of Wyvern Rider, because the Wyvern Rider is not a threat. Because we seize this turn. Negu uses swords more than she should, in all honesty. But it doesn't matter. This is turn 5, and we end up seizing the map here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for Chapter 7 and 7X.